Congratulations on the new deal. We look forward to seeing you in Buffalo very soon. Give us like the feeling that overcame you when this deal got done, based on the journey you've been on to get to this point.
Yeah, no, thank you. First off, and obviously, it's a really rewarding feeling. Just all the work that obviously not too many people have gotten to see go on behind the scenes for the past 4 or 5 years, and obviously it's a big leap of faith by the ownership and staff, and now it's just my job to continue to progress as a player and as a person, and earn that contract and obviously make it worthwhile.
About 2-3 weeks ago on this show, we posed a question to the fans. When do you think Tage Thompson should sign? Now, in season, next summer. We had no idea that talks were even ongoing, or I didn't know. Duffer, maybe you had an inkling, but I'm not going to speak for you. When did it all start? And when did you get the call from your agent saying, hey, I think this may get done this summer?
Yeah, they actually, I got a call from my agent probably back in like May, like just when the season was ending, that they're interested in possibly talking extension, and basically kind of just asked me if that's something I'd be up for, and if I was interested in that. And obviously, that was something I really wanted to do, and I think both sides felt comfortable doing. I think Buffalo, like I've said it before, is a place that I want to be there. I know my wife loves it here. Just a place that we want to be, get grounded there, build our family, and obviously, on the ice, help this team, join, make playoffs, and hopefully win a Stanley Cup. So, I think the talk started around May, and then obviously as the summer progressed, got a little more serious.
Did they ramp up even quicker at the end than you were anticipating? Like, did you have a good feeling that it was going to be done before training camp?
Yeah, no, I think we knew pretty early on that it was going to be done before the season. And then I think obviously with, the draft going on and a lot of other things, it kind of, flattened out a little bit there in probably July. And then once July was over, things started to pick up pretty quick and heavy there. So I think both sides wanted to get it done, before we came into camp.
Anything special that you did once you signed the contract? I'm only saying that because I remember when I signed my first, I'm going to call it big deal. Like at the time, it was like, oh, if you were making $1 million, if you signed a contract that averaged over $1 million, you were like, woohoo, this is crazy. And I walked right into a car dealership and bought a car sticker price, did not even negotiate. And I got the keys and I drove off, right? Like, maybe not the smartest thing to do, but I did it. So anything that you did special or you want to do special with this new deal?
I haven't done anything special yet. When I signed it, I think I had my family. My family's in Arizona with me here. So I had them over. I just hung out. But that was pretty much it. I mean, I'm getting ready. I'm coming back to Buffalo tomorrow. I'm flying out. So, and then my wife flew out this morning. So I've just been packing up the house. So packing up the house, getting it ready to go. And so I haven't really had too much time to, celebrate or whatever. So it's just been kind of back to normal life. So
it only takes 10 minutes to walk into a dealership and get the car. That's all. It doesn't take that long.
Yeah, I did get a new truck, but I did it before the extension was signed, which is probably not the smartest thing to do, but I did get a new truck. So
okay.
Little excited about that. So
well, based on the year.
I guess you can consider that something.
Yeah.
A little reward. Treat.
I would say that based on the year you had, you should be rewarding yourself. So that the new truck is definitely part of that. But Marty, he used the word packing. Yes. And this takes me back to our Americans Made episode with Tage Thompson when he was in Rochester, and we dotted the continent with all the places that he's been on this journey. And I could be off here, Tage, but I'm thinking you've moved, from state to state to state, including going back to familiar states, at least 16 times. So when you get a deal like this,
it's gotta be more than that by now. But
it's amazing. It's amazing, isn't it? Like that's kind of why I asked you what it feels like in a moment where you can really plant those roots.
Yeah, no, that's why it's something special. Obviously, I think before this, the longest I've ever lived somewhere with my family and is probably maybe 4 years in a row, and that was in Peoria, Illinois. So that's kind of the longest I've been in one place. So now Buffalo's kind of taking the cake for, I guess you could call it home base, right? Like I live in Arizona and Connecticut in the summers, but only for a couple months out of the year. So yeah, it's nice to finally be able to say that Buffalo's my home city, and that's where I get to call home for the next 7 or 8 years.
So you signed on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday at 11:11 Eastern times, it was announced that for 12 games this year, you guys are going to be spotting. I'm going to move over the old black and goat head that I've got behind me here in my office. Yeah. So Duffer asked me, what's the bigger news when we got on the show on Wednesday? Is it Tage's contract or the jersey? And I said, well, Tage's contract was on Tuesday, and today is the jersey. So I'm going to say the jersey, but how are you excited? And have you gotten any text message with the boys about wearing the old goat head at 12 games this year?
Oh yeah. We've I think we've known about it for a little bit. Like I think they kind of gave us a little sneak peek at the end of last season. Maybe some ideas of what it was going to look like. So we knew we were going to be wearing the old goat heads coming into this season. So all the boys were fired up. So I think they're going to look really good. I like the black and red. I think it's sharp. It's going to be cool.
What was the best reaction you got to your contract from a fellow teammate?
I had a couple good ones. I mean, Mitzi called me right away. I think he was all fired up that he doesn't have to pay for a dinner on the road now. So that was something that he was excited about. Tucky FaceTimed me. So, I mean, we got a lot of good guys, like our group honestly is something special. It's obviously one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to be in Buffalo is just the group of guys and the culture that we're building and the way we're trending right now. I know it sounds like it's all talk, and it's kind of disappointing that like people on the outside don't really get to see all that goes in the locker room and just the time we spend with each other away from the rink. Like it is really a tight-knit group and something that is really special.
So NHL Network got their top 20 centers maybe last week. And if you go on NHL.com right now, you're still not listed as a center. And that was a big part of your development last year, and 38 goals and all of that. Was there one moment, a goal, a play, a game that you felt, I'm a center now, and this is where I want to be, and this is where I feel like I can get my best on the ice?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's one specific player moment, but I think gradually as the season wore on, I think I just started to gain more and more confidence. I've always loved the position center. I played it growing up. And then once I got to college, I went to wing, and I haven't played center since. So getting back to the middle of the ice is just something where I feel just naturally comfortable. And obviously it took a little bit of adjusting getting to it. I'm still, have lots of room to grow and continue to get better in that area. But just being able to come up the ice, in the middle, I think it's just where I feel kind of at home. And like I said, I don't think there was one specific player moment, but I think just gradually as the games wore on, right, you get more puck touches in the middle of the ice. You're involved in every play. So I think for me as a player, when I'm involved in every play and I get those puck touches, my confidence just keeps going. So I think that's a big piece for me is being back in the middle, definitely, helping my game.
Tage, when you rewind it to your year at the program, the national team under Don Granato, and for those that don't know, at least 75% of that roster is currently on NHL teams, and it is star-laden to say the least, including just signed Jake Ottinger, got his new deal this week as well. How much center were you playing on that team under Don?
No, I didn't play center at all. I played wing there, and I was more or less, I mean, I'm sure Donnie's talked to you about it. I was more or less, fourth line or 13th forward rotation on that one. So it was a great experience for me going to the program, being able to play on the same team as guys like Matthews, Kachuk, Colin White, like just obviously unbelievable hockey players. And like you said, our team was stacked with talent. And I had come in the second year. So those guys were already there for a year before, and me, Troy Terry came in the second year. So we were kind of a little behind everyone else. So we were just kind of trying to get our feet wet and trying to make the most of the opportunity. And I didn't really play much center there, I don't think.
So, looking to your season, and when you signed your contract, there was a Twitter user that posted all your goals from last year. And so Duffer and I were kind of debating which one was our favorite goal that you scored. I mean, first, for me, I said, I like the first one against Montreal because the way you released that puck off that rebound came to you, showing me, wow, like what a quick release. He's going to score a ton of goals this year, which you did with 38. There's a couple more that come to our mind, but which one was maybe your favorite goal of the season, or one that sticks into your mind that maybe for different reasons?
Um,
And if you need help with a refresher, Duffer's willing to give you some maybe some choices.
Yeah, I don't know which one's my favorite. I honestly, I couldn't really pick one in particular. I think the one in Chicago was just not my favorite, but just funny. What are the odds that happens, right? So like that's kind of one that sticks out in my mind if we're just talking about like most memorable goals. I don't know if it's a favorite, but it is a memorable one for me. And then I'd probably say the 30th one against Nashville. I think obviously that was a pretty special night for everybody, not just me in particular. Our RJ night, sold out barn, just an unbelievable atmosphere. And then I score the 30th there, and something I've never done before. And it was a really cool feeling. And obviously the guys were very pumped for me, and it was just a cool night all around.
Don Granato said on WGR's morning show just a few days ago that when you scored your 30th goal, you got back to the bench and he came to you and whispered a little something about, hey, we'll get to celebrate later, to that aspect, like the job's not finished, it's not over. What was that interaction like after you scored like a milestone 30th goal?
Yeah, no, the interaction was awesome. And that's what I love about Donnie is, he's known me for a while, and I feel like we do think very similar, the way we approach the game and just kind of our mindsets. He came up to me on the bench. He's like, hey, like, congrats, you can celebrate, but you got a lot more to give. And I mean, I was like kind of taken back at first, but then I was like, yeah, like, I mean, he's right. Like, I think we both kind of have that internal drive where it's like, it's nice to, achieve those goals that you set out for yourself. But as soon as you hit those milestones or those goals that you have set for yourself, you're hungry for the next one, and you want to keep striving to be better. And, that's something that's great about Donnie is he continues to push guys, and, you never want to be comfortable in where you're at. There's always more you can give. There's always, you can always get better. So that was a pretty cool little, I guess, exchange that we had.
Duffer, what's your favorite goal? You got to go.
I was just going to say, Tage, so we call that the Granado effect, all the little things that he does that brings the best out of you guys. And you might be the greatest example of it within this current group. We are thrilled that you mentioned the Chicago game, and a shout out to George on our production team because he mentioned it in our ear right before we started this. And Marty couldn't believe that it happened so late in the game. I'm like, dude, there was like 10 seconds. He's like, no, there wasn't. I'm like, yes, there was. And that's what made it so dramatic. My favorite.
I had to go back to my notes, Tage, to see it. It was 10.6 seconds.
Yeah.
My favorite was your overtime 1-0 winner in Calgary when Markstrom coughed it up. I still don't know how you maintained position enough to reach and put it into that empty net.
That was a sneaky, tough goal. Like, I mean, it was obviously an empty net, but I was going pretty quick there. I had the speed wobbles and the puck was between my legs. I don't know. I just kind of spun around and grabbed it and tried to twist it in all in one motion. But that was a heck of a game. I mean, I think that was a game we came right off a spanking from Edmonton, and I think we got sat down by Donnie, our line in particular. I know everyone did, but our line in particular, and he kind of gave it to us a little bit and just challenged us to, be better than their top line and don't trade chances with them, and it ends up being a 0-0 game, and we win in overtime. So that was a fun game, a very, very special win as well.
What's the feeling like? Exactly what you say. Like you guys went into Edmonton, and obviously your line being the top line, you're going to face some tough matchups. So, what was that like this season, and how do you embrace this challenge next year to know that, I'm going to get some really tough matchups, and the pressure will be on, obviously, not just on you, but on everybody else to perform that way?
No, there's definitely going to be pressure. I mean, obviously, you can't play the game if you can't handle pressure. And I think we got a really resilient group, and I think you've seen it throughout the year. And I think what's great about our group is we don't dwell on the past. I think Donnie does such a good job of, making sure that we learn from our mistakes and that we move on and, grow from them. And it's not like you can't really harp on it and dwell on the game's over and now you got a chance to respond. And, that's the biggest thing is how are you going to respond? And I think we got the guys in there with a lot of character, a lot of heart. And, we are going to face challenges this year. It's not going to be an easy ride by any means. And I think everybody knows that it's not going to be a shock to anyone. So I think we're prepared for it.
I asked you back then when we were filming that Americans Made in Rochester, just about your love for the big moments, the put me in the, high pressure situations. We just talked about your overtime goal. You guys followed that up with an overtime win in Vancouver. Rasmus Dahlin scored. You went 4 for 6 in shootouts this year. You're 6 for 11 in your career in that. And that's one-on-one. That is putting the team aside for a minute and trying to do everything you can. How do you feel like you've continued to embrace these moments and where you're at in them when asked to be the guy?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it is just something internal. Like I love it. I love the competition. I think we have a lot of guys in our room that just love a challenge, and I don't think anyone shies away from it. And for me in particular, I like having pressure on me. I feel like I play better when I have pressure, and the game's on the line. Like I want to be the guy. I want to help the team win. I want to do everything I can. And it's not just me. I think we got a lot of good guys in there that have the same character traits and that feel the same way. And that's what you need. That's the recipe to win. And I think we're slowly, getting there. And I think a lot of it comes with confidence too. The more you are put in those situations and the more you come out on top, the more you're thrown back into that same situation, you're capable of winning that battle, of scoring in a situation. And you know what, if you fail, you get another chance to go out and do it again. So I think that's kind of where I'm at with my headspace, and in terms of those key situations or key moments, I feel like I get excited for them.
How's the summer been, or the off season been? Newborn baby boy this summer.
Oh, yeah.
When we talked to Casey Middlestat a couple of weeks back, he was in between workouts and the golf course. So does that mean not a lot of golf for you because, you got a new baby at home? What's the summer or the off season been like?
It's been awesome. It's been a crazy summer, obviously, like with the newborn, but my wife's been awesome. She's let me get out on the course quite a bit, more than I thought I was going to be able to go golfing. So that's been fun. But yeah, it's just been awesome. Like my family lives out in Arizona, so my wife and I split up the summer half and half. So we started off in Connecticut, working out and skating down there for a little bit. And then I think halfway through July, we came out to Arizona and been out here since, and just working out, skating, getting in some golf when I can, and, enjoying time with the family. So it's been an awesome summer.
And how big is baby Brooks?
He's pretty big. He's a long baby. I mean, no surprise there. I think he's like 24 inches right now or something like that. No, he's doing good. He's sleeping well. So, I mean, knock on wood right now, he's been pretty easy. But I'm sure that's likely to change. But it's been fun. I can't complain.
How's Buff, the dog, take to the new baby?
Oh, he loves him. Yeah, he's great with them. I don't think he ever wants to go anywhere else now being here. He's never been to Arizona either, and we've got a pool here, and our dog loves to swim. So he's having a good time out here. But yeah, he's great with the baby. Cuddles next to him and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool to see how good he is with them.
Well, take me back to when you got your dog. It was at, I believe, Zach Bogosian's casino night. Yeah. And then, from that point on, and the injury and everything that's happened, like, Did you at any point kind of lose the confidence that maybe it's not gonna go the way I thought it was gonna go? Like, was there a moment of doubt?
You know, I can't say yes or no 100% on that one. Like, there were times where it's, you know, you doubt yourselves, and it's tough, man. You're going through some tough times, and you can't help but ask yourself that question. But internally, I did always believe in myself. I knew what I was capable of, and I knew that if I put in the work, that eventually things would take care of themselves. And I think that's the mindset you have to have is, I mean, I can only control what I can control, right? Like, everything else, it makes no sense to worry about it. So that was kind of just, you know, I just take it a day at a time. What can I do to get better? What can I do to, you know, grow my game? And it was hard, obviously. There's a lot of you know, struggles and adversity faced along the way, but I think it only makes you stronger as a person and as a player. So you know, I'm very blessed to have not only me that believed in myself, but to have, you know, a strong family and people around me, my teammates, and they obviously helped me through those times. So it's you know, not just me, it's everyone that's been along my journey with me.
Tage, congrats again. Safe travels back, and we'll see you on the ice real soon here in Buffalo.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it, guys.